Hello? Feedback motherfucking Friday. Okay? Are we clear on that? Because it's about to fucking begin. Whether you're ready or not, whether you're tucked in bed, doesn't matter where you are. Because we're fucking cooking, okay? Here's your link. I know you like links. Feedback Friday. Thank you, Gus. How we feeling? Yo, people. Let the thief commence. The feedback feast. Ain't no feedback beef. But get out your feedback teeth. Cause we about to bite into Rhythmics. Let's fucking go.
Is converting radioactivity into sounds we can hear. This radioactivity is coming from a small piece of radioactive material inside this plastic cylinder. The small amount of radioactivity coming from the cylinder is harmless. Today, atomic scientists produce radioactivity in large amounts.
Goddamn. Goddamn. Low on that part. I see how it is. Go on. All right. I hear you. I dug that quite a bit. I love that quite a bit. Question is, does it hit? Does the track flow better through the A-B sections of each drop? It feels pretty smooth. I still felt like I wanted a little extra attention span tickler. Right? Because we're in the 21st century. Get with the times. Now. feel like it takes a minute to really get into like the pulling feeling, like, you know what I mean? I think that's what's gonna like engage the audience. Or if there's like some type of little melody here, you know, just something that isn't straight atmospherics. Or in terms of the atmospheric, maybe like strip back the layers and just make sure it's super interesting on its own. Okay. Do the intro and break feel polished.
Sounds that reveal the presence of radioactive rays.
Yeah. So something that's kind of striking me unpolished-ish. Something about the mix. Maybe I'm just not turning up loud enough. I feel like these basses aren't like fully in my face, fully compressed, just dicking it down on me, you know, and that's the way I think it should be. Controversial. And there's this like stereo-ishness, and like I feel like there's like some scratchy OTT high-end business, which is kind of affecting the polish of it. Right? It's not fully polished. It's got some scuffs on the top. You know what I mean? Oh, and I guess that ties into mix, but that's my thoughts on polish. Like,
This radioactivity is coming from a...
oh, you were fucking asking A to B sections for each drop, not like the whole thing. So I answered the second question before the first. Here's the first question. Yeah, A to B section feels great. The drop felt fucking great. I love that one flow. Where is it? It's the flow goes boom 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 boom. Oh, that shit hard, to be honest with you. Oh, new to Bitwig. So he's not even OTTing it. What happened? You slow down the BPM, 5 BPM. If it hits, I don't know. I don't have a audio reference in my mind of shifting the BPM, but I like this track. Mix polish, break interest is where I stand. 100. Lodian. Lugubrious.
I can feel myself, my love is waiting.
Pretty fire. Pretty fucking fire. The drops hit you heavy and melodically on both fronts. So you cannot defend from both angles. You want feedback on the overall mix. Do the bass layers and the drop make sense with the sounds and the call and response? Do they? First thing that comes to my mind is I love how the drops felt. There's low-key like a little scramble, like, and how hoppy the riffs are, like, you feel, and some intro and break business I feel like could be a hair more engaging. Like the drops sounded proper and leaning towards the professional end, but like the intro and breaks weren't quite tickling me to the same degree, right? But I'm not easy to tickle, so do not call me Elmo. Something I love is when you hit the like that sub's moving on its own. It's got a mind of its own, and it's fucking using it. Yeah, I think there is a substantial amount of kind of little fake out moments. Don't overuse that because I've definitely been there. And the phrase kind of interesting, like bouncing between the call and response, but that's another thing. Like, don't milk the fake outs too hard and don't jelk the call and response too crazy. Because I think call and response really feels good when each moment has its own phrase and enough time to speak its own phrase before responding. You know, it's almost the difference between me having a civil conversation with you. I say my little point, I have my monologue, and then you respond to that, right? Versus like, we're like, hello, how are you? I'm good. Like we're passing that back and forth for some reason. You know, like sometimes it's better for just one person to say the phrase. Then get into it, you know, because I've definitely had production moments where I'm just scrambling too hard, bouncing back and forth because that's all I know. But that's not all there is. Oh my God. But I think nonetheless, they're still tight together, and I think the sounds are different but similar enough that they mesh clean. Yeah, like give me some mix in the space in the mix. Especially in these breaks, like mono the bass, you know, watch this kind of high-end business, let that vocal breathe. Yeah, and like something about the high end, maybe it's just SoundCloud fucking with my ears. Maybe it's Maybelline. I'm not sponsored. But there it is. Percy, or should I say permute? Let's hear it. Boycott the high end, bro. I'm saying. Okay. I just want to acknowledge this. So, Free Will Burnin', he has a strong belief that every song must be dance. Thank you. See, he's on to something. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I be dancing in the metaphysical plane to this. Fuck what you been. Beautiful work. Peaceful, lovely. What do you want from it though? Is the vibe souped on enough? What would you add? Is my production style too ambient influence? Is my presentation of ideas as a producer getting better? Yes. I don't know. I like this. It seems more structured. It seems more idea. It vibes with me. A bit harder, I would say. I see the progress. And I like to see it. And I like to hear it. Okay? Is the vibe souped on enough? What would I add though? One thing I just want to note, it's cool. Like the ambient plus the beat plus this kind of like sub pulse is very cool. Just very stripped down, but still has that side of deepness for, quote, the heads. Okay. A lead is always nice. Yeah. Another thing, you're not really changing chords throughout. Just kind of hitting like a bit of like tranciness to it, but yeah, like even just moving a fourth, so going like boom, 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 or boom, 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 boom. Give us a progression, give us a melody. I think you can still work that in even on an ambient front. You know, and that's almost a challenge because plenty of ambient, that's just static, you know. But how far can we push the immersion on the fine line of musicality? Anything else brilliant to say? the fuck up. Shut up. Fucking phenomenal. I like this new sound. Adset sounds like the ghoul general yelling at his minions to attack. So true. Adset. Like and subscribe to Adset. No, I dig this, but I feel like there's some areas that are obscuring. Like, and I feel like there was less of this on like some of your other submissions, or maybe I'm pickier right now. But I think the cymbals and the drums are kind of like crunching over the whole fuck ass thing. Like, I want to hear that formant guttural beast speaking to me, but all I hear are his minions slamming the drums way too loud. He's got little imps. He's got a little imp on the cymbal, and he's banging it, okay? Yeah, and I think just like a little much on the layers, like, it's just something ain't coming through on the clarity end this time around. But don't get me wrong, sound design and energy still fucking beastly, to say the leastly. But you know where I stand. Bang your head and raise them hands. Is the sound selection interesting enough? Yeah. I mean, like, if you add that crazy guttural bass that I don't even know what the fuck is going on with, like, yeah, you're set for life. Energy and flow, though. I mean, right from the start, there's clear, drastic energy shift from the last track, so I think that's cool. I almost felt like the drops went a little quick. Am I wrong? And I want this build up like on the edge of my seat. Like I want the build up so tense I feel like I'm going fucking insane. Okay? I don't think this quote in the description makes sense. Ad set dub once again. Ad set dub. Brave the storm dub. Brave the storm dub. Okay. I won't talk about the quote, but I've heard the first half of this. I skipped to the bridge. Wait, did I? Yeah, I played it longer than 3 minutes. Fuck you. No, fuck me, bro. Come here. Hold up. Scrapped and redid the second half. Nitpicky details, improved the bridge build, make the second drop stand out. Bridge build aside, that one fucking moment where you like cut the drums and have that crazy call to response. Strip back these effects. I want to hear that. I know you did. It's my fault. It's my fucking fault. So like, I want when he hits "Find Us," I want it to fucking boom, 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 boom. You feel me? Whatever the fuck you need to get that effect. take it. Because I think that find us, like, that's a strong moment. We're not having vocals through the whole thing. So when you do that, you got to be like, find us. Big shit in it, you know? Like, all of a sudden, it gets real as fuck. Like, you've been asleep until that point, but all of a sudden, the dude come on saying, find us. You're like, oh my God. What are we finding? Who is us? Oh my God, and the impact and the drums building up and... It's the best moment of my life, bro. No. But even then, that plus it's just we're halfway through the thing. You know, rev it up. I want the build up feel like I'm fucking edging the fuck out of my dick with lotion. Okay? Write that one down. Anything else? All right, no more sexual. And that's my new rule. No more sex jokes. And I'm still a hater to this day. It's something that never really goes away. So my hater take on this is give us a little less variation. You know, like I think musical ideas, they have to develop. They have to marinate, you know? And it's like, if you gave me one dish, I can fully appreciate this dish and I can let the flavors within it really reveal themselves to me. You know, but if you give me like the tapas, like the 50 different appetizers, like eventually I might, no, but when I put it like that, it sounds like a good thing. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Just lean into one piece of guap. You know, because all that tension, we want the release to be so potent and palpable. You know, not laying it down for a second and then jumping right back up. You know what I mean? There's been a big up, we need a big down. We're not better. Okay? That's life. Through my eyes. with that. I like that. Now, just the riff was stanky, and the way was cleared for it. The stage was set. The main character made his entrance and danced beautifully. Okay. However, here's an idea I have. So the way you're layering these things, I'm hearing that, you know, like you're having these saws intercede with the bass layered at the same time, but I feel like there's a really tight call and response opportunity at hand. Even if it's not going to be exactly that, I think there's this kind of space at the end of each little yes, the bass saw. Wow. That, and be careful with the flowing of the layers. So it's cool to layer things and have things interact, but I would, as a real sound design-y kind of guy like myself, I experienced this. I'm just like, it sounds cool. It's texturally kind of interesting. But keep in mind, you want to place things rhythmically, consistently, as well as you want things to kind of contrast it. So instead of having this kind of same thing layered, you know, bass, then chords with like an interesting voice and that kind of contrasts or like colors it, or like a little melodic line that has that effect. That, in addition to make it dynamic. So when you're having, you know, like all that, make it, feel what I mean? So each layer like going up or down. So rhythm, dynamics, and kind of like a melodic, harmonic contrast, you know, because I hear it in my own work and thus I project it to your people's works. Keep that in mind rather than just the texture of the sound. Okay. Another thing, arrangement-wise, I feel like there's just a shift here that is unwarranted. It's somewhere around here, and I just feel like it's kind of boop, you know. And for the length of the track, I think it's worth having a break there, kind of develop that new idea a little more rather than just flipping a switch. That was something that was, I guess, off-putting. Also, the snare crying for help. He's not crying for help because he has no voice to cry with, and he must scream. Bring him up. Maybe a little sidechain on him could be fun for the whole family. You know, get the kids involved at this point. Why the fuck not? Con cow feedback length. I appreciate that. God damn. I actually really like this one.
Everything you promised.
Holy fuck. I actually love that one. That got me reflecting on my life and shit. What's the true meaning? The basses, there aren't a ton of harmonics. You think you can get away with it? Yeah, I mean, like the whole deep dub thing is just sparse harmonically. But that's the whole sound, that you get that hollow sound, and I think that works here. Anything that clashes out of key, nothing stood out. Any general feedback? Structure is loose. I wonder how the longer one is. No, I actually love this. Like, you have an experimental spirit, but it comes through and it sounds actually really fucking good, which is hard to come by. This captures like an interesting, deep ambient feeling, but like kind of like dry for ambient, but still vibey. You know what I mean? You're cooking. And little moments like that, it's so subtle, but that's a huge play on the tension, you know, where the drums come in and come out. Yeah, and that sounds fucking crazy. Love that. It's like got the gentle heaviness to it. It's beautiful. Love that. Might even revisit that, low-key. That's how much I liked it. Got me feeling shit. Schmetta. Oh, this too. Let's fucking go. Hard as fuck. Meta to this day, still coming up. Still popping off. And I never heard him better. Does the first build feel short AF? Question mark. Thinking about extending it.
If I rose and Crips all got along, they probably got me down.
Nothing felt wrong with it to me.
Seem like the whole city go against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear
I don't know. I would have to like re-listen to the whole John, but nothing sounded wrong about the intro. If anything, it's like okay. Boom, 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 ow. Wow. I expect it like to drop a little sooner right there, you know, unless you're thinking like a fake out, you know, if that's how it's gonna make out. Feasting off the takeout. Enough. Redo some reverb and sound effects. You're kind of stuck. Layered to the lead to create harmony. I don't know if I like it. Reverb's SFX. I feel like you can like wet up the build business. And where's the harmony? I guess that's you're going bam, 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 bam. There's a harmony on that. I am assuming that's what the lead is, and I think it sounds good. And I think that's the sound I expect from it. That's the sound I'm looking for from it. That's a bit of dissonance, I guess, but it's a good dissonance, dance music-y kind of transposed dissonance. Beyond that, what do I have to say? I don't know. It's just hard. Just quarter notes that give zero fucks that they're quarter notes. Just go fucking stupid. It's almost like the subtle tension. You're like, it should switch up by now, but it never does. That makes the quarter note like just fucking disrespect you in some way. We're like, nope, this is what you get, okay?
If I rose and Crips all got along, they probably got me down by the head.
No mercy.
That is so. Seem like the whole city go against me. Along, they probably got me down.
Yeah, like watch the volume of some of these perks.
All got along, they probably got me down.
Gotta keep it clean when you're trying to lurk. All right, you get 3 minutes worth. And like I want like the sub and mid bass tighter is another thing. This is pretty cool. It's getting the swampy vibes across. However, structure. Okay. You're talking about, is the sub too loud? Is the flow there? Do I need more spices? Too many little effects on top. And it feels like, I'm not sure like where it's flowing. It's going like boom, wham, 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 wham. I want it boom, wham, 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 wham. You know, it's like wham, 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 wham. Like make it punch in and be clear where it's stopping, where we're going in, and fucking go in. And there's like these little tension fill moments at every goddamn opportunity. Do not fall into their temptation. We don't need that many. And we're like the hi-hat. We need like some like percussion. Like we just need to lock in the rhythmic groove of it. Sub too loud. Sounds fine. More spices. In a sense, you need less. And you gotta like head to the break sooner and pay more mind to variation. Because the pace is dragging a bit, arrangement wise. Double check the BPM relative to the timings and the structure and all that. This pick, fucking crazy. Hard and evil. Hard and fucking evil. That's how I like it. More fills, you ask? More fills and background elements. Like, to be honest, I couldn't fucking make out background elements if they were there, because it's kind of fucking schlam to shiz. But that's loud. Yeah, and I think like you have a good amount of fills. I don't know how many more fills you can add. There's one almost every bar. We gotta stop doing this as a society. As a society of dubstep makers. It's also like, what am I getting? What am I getting from this? Besides angry and furious. So like, I'm just kind of, the main idea is like, you know, like that kind of sustained bass punctuated by the drums. But like the chugs, the rhythmic chugs on top, they aren't rhythmicking, they aren't flowing, and they're too unpredictable to get locked in with, you know, and too kind of squashed to make out. What that got to do with me? Other than that, like structure, you know, because the last thing we need is another Feedback Friday participant who makes heavy like tear out stuff that doesn't structure their tracks. because we have too fucking many already. No. You know what I mean. Don't skimp on structure, because when it comes time to actually make a full release, maybe you won't because you're not comfortable with structure. And if you do, the structure you do introduce is going to be inferior to the structure you would make if you get used to structuring, if you practice it. So do that.
Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hold up, hands up, let's go. Hold up, hold up. Hands up, hands up. Let's go. Hold up, hold up. Woo! Hands up, hands up. Hands up, hands up. Hands up, hands up. Hands up. Hold up, hold up. Woo! Hands up, hands up. Hands up, hands up. Hands up, hands up. Hands. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Hands up. Hold up. Hands up. Let's go. Hold up, hold up. Hands up, hands up. Hands up, hands up. Let's go. Hold up, hold up. Don't go. Hands up, hands up. Hold up, hold up. Woo! Hands up, hands up. Hands up, hands up. Hands up, hands up. Hands. Hold up, hold up. Hands up, hands up. Hold up, hold up. Woo! Hands up, hands up, hands up.
This shit is hype. The most hype factor of the evening. You got my hands up. No, and I just love like all the risers, all the tension, all the woo, all the woo.
Hold up, hold up.
No, and I fucking love the siren. Brum, 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 brum. Got me going crazy.
Hands up, hands up. Hands up, hands up. Hands up, hands up.
No, it's just super fun, and that's the energy we need. Thief on the overall mix. Any ideas for the second drop, man? What about it? So the mix. More mids, like more like kind of lower oscillator layer. Maybe pushed a little too stereo on the bass. Maybe I want the ambiance a little more stereo in lieu, or you know. Love that. Love all that pitchy tension.
Hold up.
I don't know if like this bell wants to come forward or the bass to step back. You know, I don't know where to sit.
Hold up! Let's go! Hold up! Hold up! Don't stop!
Yeah, like that kind of feel a little loud.
Hands up! Hands up!
So second drop ideas. I'm thinking just like a flow. So you feel me? Yeah, or like that. So one is just make it flow like the first. Second is like kind of like switch and so on for fucking eternally. No, it loops again. See what I mean? That's a fun thing to do. Just kind of take the call, but then switch the response. Crowd loves it. Huh. Eucla, why am I laughing? One Fern thinks this is brazy. Let's see if he's right. Hello. I liked that Feedback Friday submission. I hear the sound being distilled. I hear the chords holding more weight. I hear the melodies speaking in complete sentences, complete phrases. I hear the Lord within your music. Praise be to Allah. Is how the bass in the begin, is it coherent enough? Does it sound like it doesn't fit at all? So it doesn't sound as tight as the rest. I almost think a principle to arrangement is, and you see this everywhere, there's almost a hierarchy of how much things change, right? A lot of times the drums are the most stable in their pattern, and the bass, then the chords, you know, then the kind of melody, you know, like I think the complexity increases as you kind of ascend the ranks of musical elements. That being said, the bass, I think, should lean on the simpler side compared to where the melody lies. Right. That, and even within the crazy riffs you can get on the bass, I still think they should very clearly outline the kind of very consonant root note we're looking for. You know, because I can hit boom, but I can also get boom, boom, down, down, boom, 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 down, down. And both kind of are telling us the same chord in different ways. Because some points as it develops, like I'm hearing the bass clearly playing off some harmony. But in this kind of intro bit, it's just kind of erring on the side of, God forbid I say it, too noodly. But sidechain, I don't know if we need sidechain on this. If you're going to use sidechain, like make it really clear where the groove is, you know, take advantage of how that pump punctuates. That was the second drop. That's cool. There's clear tension there, even though like the elements aren't necessarily modulated a ton. I'm thinking like low pass and like some type of stuff like that. Like it kind of gets dimmer here before brightening up again, and so it makes a fun transition. Anything too loud, bass here as well. I like how it's unfolding. Miss Mystique. What does OVO mean in my logo? Because I love Drake so much I had to rip him off. No, I was just thinking like Porter Robinson face. What's the little face I can make on the keyboard for a logo? And I looked at the O, V, and O keys and I said, and the rest is history. Just kind of a face, like a bird face, like a bunting bird maybe. Oh. Congrats, grad. Was I muted? All I'm saying, congrats, Percy, for graduating. Let's. I like that. It's like side dub type vibes. Looking for feedback on how to add more interest so it doesn't feel as boring / repetitive. Potentially with rhythm. So more percussion, just keep that shit alive. That but that look at that what the with a that rubber da da we but that drop top. Okay. No, like I think a little more like percussion loopage can bring it to life. And like if you kind of pulse the sub with the kick, so you're going you go boom 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 boom. You feel me? Another thing, just get 2 ideas. Right now we have this main sample doing the main texture in the thing, but if we have, you hear all the time in dubstep, like dark atmosphere. Ooh. But then it goes all that to all of a sudden that's a lot more interesting arrangement. So run that. Make this different. Make this different. Take out the beat. Make it deeper, atmospheric, a little more layered. Feels like it's very like in this band passy range. Like give us some more low end business. Give us some more mid range business. Some like real high business. Give us like a little bell pluck. I feel like I almost just want the BPM higher and like these elements a little more staccato, a little more chopped, so we can really taste the rhythm at play. You know, because right now it's a little smeared on my palate, like it's not coming through. But that's what I want it to do. Ooh.
There's something about the way you make me feel I can't describe it, baby. Trust me when I say there's a way you make me feel. Don't run away from this, don't run
Lovely.
away from this.
First 170. You're just winging it. Does it sound okay? Cohesive. General feedback. Okay.
Now we're here.
Cut more pocket for the vocalist. Also, like, it sounds like she's like singing very low, right? Which she is, I guess. Whatever, alto or tenor range. I don't know the words, but I think the arrangement is making it come across as like not a comfortable register.
Now we're here. Make me feel the way that you did last.
And I think that's almost a thing, like, and in some sense you can have more dense arrangements when the vocalist is sitting up higher. But when they're sitting lower, it's really stripped back. Like imagine like really like sultry kind of like deep female vocalist R&B type. You know, a lot of times it's just very sparse, but that also makes it impactful.
That you did last year. There's a way you make me feel.
So vocal thing, I think like a little multi-band, a little like fresh air, saturation, you know, high-end boost. Again, give it that feeling.
Now we're here.
He a manager, he discovered her.
Magic in the lights.
Magic in the light. I need a little piano on. I also think like the arrangement isn't harmonizing as clean with her as it could.
Make me feel the way that you did last year.
What happened last year?
That you did.
The kick kind of shy. I want like something real transient there at least. And I want the drums like like more like 16th, 32nd type. You feel me? Yeah, you get me. Like we did last year, boom, yeah, boom, yeah, boom, yeah, boom, yeah, boom, yeah, boom, yeah, boom. That's my substitute for like chords harmonizing with it because the Ableton isn't opening yet. Okay, can you hear? Okay, piano break for fun. But the bass line as is
Now we're here.
it just hit that root. Now we're here. It's kind of like rolling around with the pitch too much to give her that firm foundation.
Now we're here.
You know, like that's the thing. Like I think if we're more solo, we can play with the bass more. But when you have other musicians, other instruments, there needs to be compromise. There needs to be communication. You know, it's a difference between people talking over each other and people collaborating towards a whole. And that's something I had to realize, like when I started kind of playing music in groups. You know, as much as I'd love to pretty much play my full solo piano, when you have a vocalist and a drummer and like a bassist, that's just not what you do, because that doesn't end up with the best sound, you know? So there is an element of like self-sacrifice in the final product. So rather than me doing my full flex, it's what can the group flex? I feel you. Just my takes. And I like working with other musicians and working outside of bass music, because bass music is such like a rabbit hole and a niche, and a lot of times what it makes out of you, at least what it's made out of me and what I kind of project from some tracks, is like gets too obsessed with the elements that are less musical. You know what I mean? Or not outright less musical, but that don't always translate to multiple mediums. And you can just neglect other aspects. But you love to fucking see it. Dripment.
Yes. And what is that? I am not completely like other people. What do you mean by that? People dislike me because I am not completely like them. And in what way are you different? This influences my thinking and consequently my actions. What is it you're trying to do with your life? I am trying to do with my life something which few people try to do. And this influences my thinking and consequently my actions.
Nah, hold up. Dripman, where are you at? Okay. For a minute, I was worried you didn't have a question in your post. Carry on. All right. Variation in the drop. I was satisfied. Much like I am with this delicious orange I'm eating right now. Very satisfied, very hydrating, right? But the perfect balance is okay. No, I changed my mind. More variation. Yeah. As for a specific variation, I mean, reference the structure. You know, I think a lot of tracks structured like this have clearer variation at these halfway points. Like you can cut it right here. Oh, I mean, that does come in with the kind of sustain bass. Something I almost don't like, I feel like it's pausing like the headbang. It's going boom, dun, dun, you know, like instead of voo, voo, do, 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 do. That's on my YouTube. Shut the fuck up, bro. Other thing I always recommend for variations, like changing the harmonic in the sound and not self-promoting and stream chat. Alright. Portal dubstep. What is going on with the waveform? Be honest with me. Alright. For this one, structure. That seems to be a theme. And do you need more mid-range, you're asking? How intro more interesting? If anything, I feel like we're only getting a lot of mid-range. So, here's my thoughts. So, intro, just give us more layers. We only have this one layer. We have a little texture. Little second texture. You know, give us some stuff that is divided among time, okay? Because if everything's atmospheric at the same time, then there's no detail in it, you know? So that means you can have a little impact here, boo, little impact here, boo. You know, that's what a lot of people do, even in intros. You can show where it's going. You can have things be rising up. You know, some type of riser, some type of filter opening. All that stuff adds up. Or you can always take the melodic angle, you know, chords, bass, melody. Or you can just have some type of that kind of sound like stretched or something to make it atmospheric, you know, the two sides, atmospheric or more melodic-y. But within the drop, like for this type of arrangement, it's sparse. I like that little, that's hard. You're getting a little knock on it. I would get this kick like low pass or something. It sounds like a little awkward clipped. And do something in the silence. You can have boom, 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 you know, call and response, and like reverb throw on that bass responding to it, denser atmosphere, more just percussion loops, and look at where we want to put the changes. You know, generally at this kind of halfway point through the drop where you want to alter sounds, alter the flow. Right. And for the flow itself, you hear brown, wow, brown, wow. That you can kind of funk up. So boom, wow, brown, wow, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Even with just the same sound, just chopping it up rhythmically in between, just keep it rolling, okay? John, what are your questions for this track? Huge already. Jesus. Gee, sure. I agree with Strained Roots on this one. With the Z. Let the crackles go, yep. Nah. So... It's fucking meaty. Here's just something that came off the top of my head. Like, this intro sound sounds like Blade Runner car. You know what I mean? Which makes me like, it's like give me some like reminiscent of that. So I'm almost like lean into that vibe, lean into that atmosphere. I love a bit of world building. Sub too loud. No, sub sounds meaty and proper. Meaty. That could be a little much on the high side. It's a crazy sound though. And maybe a little heavy stereo pushed for some of those sounds. Lead lines and melodic. I don't know. All I know is that's mean as fuck. Hear what I mean? Almost some kind of trap-ish influence. I think that's what you get when you're having it this kind of bendy, atonal-ish. Or like at least some kind of high layer, like pinging. I feel like it wants some kind of layer. Musical layer. I almost want like does that make any fucking sense? Like it's there's just like this straightness to it. I want to be offset, you know, like don't be afraid to get a little fruity, like start feeling yourself on it. You know, I know you got it in you, fam. 'Cause I know you like that, bro. That can come in through like the main flow or how like a kind of lead would chop on top of it.
Now everything zone and poppin' easy, motherfucking E from east side south. real on how a nigga feel. Talk that shit, motherfuckers, caps get peeled. Cut. Getting hot in the motherfucker, niggas know what. But they're still yelling, nigga G to a T, sagging and bailing. Go, what I'm saying? Yeah. So I guess I'll die about that motherfucker. Niggas bury me, make sure my shit reads easy motherfucking E. And it's a fact, to be exact, my tombstone should read he put Compton on that map. And that's how a nigga feel when I'm giving up the motherfucking real. The motherfucking real.
Going out to the hardcore hip-hop.
The motherfucking real. Fucking these niggas till they drop. The motherfucking real. The motherfucking real. Niggas be pissing on theyself when the real niggas dropping in they shit. Cause on the block, niggas with 2 strikes be bumping this real shit every fucking night. Niggas, it's too hard, motherfuckers on the street. The MC ran and it get easy. You wish the fuck that you could do it, got a 9mm. Don't make me hit it. Who gives a fuck about?
Okay. This one, where my low end at? Just give us the fat sub and we will be some happy campers.
Me, make sure my shit reads easy motherfucking E. And it's a fact, to be exact, my tombstone should read.
And you didn't ask a question, so I will give you the half feedback. So, more sub bass. Vary the sound. I think with this type of sound, it's easy enough to vary. Usually you just kind of change the FM, change the harmonic series. That'll do that for you. As well as structure, it's repetitive. So find these kind of halfway points, tweak the sound design, and or tweak the flow. You can also have a bit of calm response, get a second sound. So you know, like on those beginning of the bars, you hit that. So that would be like every 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. And typically the variation will come in every 8 or 16 measures, while the drop ends up being like 32. But I think you have the 32 down. It's just dividing the variation smaller to keep it more engaging over time. Right, and for a beat like this, I think a little bit of background, little delay hits, beginning of phrases, feel good. Easy bud, because I like you, I'll give your track a skip. That's brooding. anything, I would say like run this longer and then kind of skip to the break. I think the break, it keeps up the pace better than most kind of breakdowns. So that answers that. I would just make sure you kind of creep the tension back up so it feels like clear, we're building back up. But I like the feeling of that breakdown. It's very brooding, very cool. Anything else, John? I'll skim your track. No, I won't, because you don't even have a question. Okay. That's it. I appreciate y'all showing up. Even if you act a little weird in the chat, you know who you are. You're still loved by Jesus. Beyond that, flock flip tomorrow. I might reschedule it. I'm warning you in advance. I still want to do it though, so Sunday. I'll let you know. Stay tuned in the Discord. Not that court. Where the peasants dwell. Quick piano chord. You're right. My pleasure. Beautiful. Good night, people. Make music every day. Follow your fucking dreams. And take everything else with a grain of salt.